Welcome to this video on Code of Ethics. On the CISSP exam, you will be expected to understand the ISC2 Code of Ethics and also how those Code of Ethics will apply in an organizational setting. So that's what we are going to cover in this video. Before we dive into everything, I want to define what an ethics is, because I do get a lot of question about this as an instructor. So what's an ethics? Why does this matter to me on CISSP exam, or why does that matter to me in general as a security professional of some kind? Whether you are an analyst, an engineer, officer, whatever you might do for living, why does this matter to us? Well, in security, we are expected to behave with a set of moral principles, meaning we need to look out for our clients, our customers, our organization, and lot of other things. And well, we will get into that here in this video. So an ethic is really just a set of moral principles. That's code. It's a system, a code of values that we live by, that we work by in this case. So an ethics is pretty straightforward. Principle for your professional conduct. That's what it's really mean. It guides us in making ethical decisions in terms of our professional duties, how we support our clients, our customers, whatever it might be. Now, ISC2 definitely expect all certification holders, anyone who hold the ISC2 certifications, especially CISSP in this case, we are expected to adhere to those code of ethics. Now, the code of ethics is right there on ISC2 website. And these are the three areas where we are going to focus our attention. We are going to look at the code, we are going to look at the code of ethics preamble, and then we are going to look at the code of ethics canons. And we are going to dive into this into depth. And we are going to dive into this in depth. Now, I know this is a lot of things to read on the screen, so just make it really easy. What is the requirement? What is the requirement? Well, first of all, we are required to commit to fully supporting the code of ethics. When we accept our certification from ISC2, we are required to follow this code of ethics. Any violation, anyone who intentionally or knowingly violates the code of ethics will be subjected to an action based on peer review panel. So ISC2 has a peer review panel. They will look at what the violation is and they could revoke your certification as a result. We are also obliged to report any ISC2 member who violate the code of ethics, and ISC2 has a procedure for that on their website. And then failure to do so, failure to follow the code of ethics may be considered a breach of the code, and then we may possibly violate the code of ethics and maybe even lose our certification. So they take it pretty seriously. The code itself, let's break it down. It's really simple. The code of ethics has 4 canons. What does a canon means? A canon just basically means values. 4 different values: protect society, the common good, necessary, public trust and confidence, and the infrastructure. Act honorably, honestly, justly, responsibly, and legally. Provide diligent and competent service to principals, and advance and protect the profession. I am going to dive into each one of these and explain what each one of these canons or values means to you and what it's going to mean on the exam as well. Now, each of these canons are equally important. One is not more important than others. However, one might apply differently in a different situation. So I am going to break down each one of these for you. For example, look at the lawsuit that's going on with Facebook. There's a Facebook payment for a $725 million of privacy settlement. This lawsuit originated in 2018 after it was revealed that a British research firm called Cambridge Analytica had accessed data from at least 87 million Facebook users without their permission. So, from a code of ethics standpoint, what did Facebook violate here? Well, they could violate a variety of things, but that's why it's so important. Those values are so important to us as a security professional because we want to make sure that we are following ethical and moral guidelines as we carry out our work. So let's talk about the canon in practice, breaking them down just even simpler and giving you a very easy way to remember them for the exam. First of all, P, protect everything you are responsible for. Everything you do at work, whatever you have been given authority, ownership, responsibility for, protect it. Do your very best to protect it. Act with good intention. Always act with good intentions. Think of the client, think of the customer, think of the end user. Whenever you are making decision about security related things, it's easy in security to get caught up in. Hey, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough schedule, we don't have enough time, but we need to act honorably with good intention. So if we can't do those things, we need to be able to justify why. Provide your very best efforts. Always provide diligent and competent service. So do your very best in what you know how to do. And lastly, advance your knowledge and skills and help others advance their knowledge and skills. So PAPA or PAPA is the way to remember canons. Protect, act, provide, advance. Protect, act, provide, and advance. So let's dive into each one of these real quick. I will explain what this means more in depth, and then we will wrap up this video. Let's start with the protect. Protect society, the common good, necessary public trust and confidence, and the infrastructure. What does this mean? Straightforward. Safeguard information and the system. So safeguard information and the system that are essential to public safety and welfare. And we want to consider the sociological impact of action and decision. So going back to the Facebook lawsuit, did they consider sociological impact when they allowed a company to access 87 million of accounts? Probably not. Was that a threat to public safety and welfare? Depends on how you look at it. It depends on the lawsuit and all of that. What happened in the whole case is irrelevant. It's just a place to take a look at the form, a moral and a code of ethical standpoint and say, do we really want to give away private data for 87 million users? And does that violate our terms of use, our privacy policies? What does that impact? Every decision we make can have far-reaching consequences. That's what makes cybersecurity such an important profession, and there is always some kind of weight when it comes to a societal impact. So we always want to take that into account when we are making decisions. Protecting society is about doing your best to protect your organization or your customers' information, like the 87 million accounts. Thoroughly analyzing all the security needs or anything you are responsible for. So, is there a reason that this British company needed to get access of those 87 million accounts for legal reason? And does it violate any policy that we have in place? And then provide or recommended the necessary security to protect those people and those assets? So, as a security engineer or a security architect or whatever I might be, if Facebook were to ask me that, I would ask you, what do you need to access those accounts for? And did you get any customer permission to do so? And if the answer is no, then the ethical thing is to not to do it. But look, I am not trying to say Facebook is right or wrong. I am just using this as an example to help you understand where the morality and the ethic comes into place. That's protecting society. Now, acting honorably, justly, responsibly, and legally. What does that mean? So, what this has to do with the maintaining personal integrity and honesty in all professional dealings. Being clear and transparent with colleagues, clients, stakeholders about security capabilities, limitation, violation, breaches, leakage, and all those different things. We want to be as ethical in our approach to information security. We want to be true, honest, and fair, and we want to lead by example. And that's mean if we make a mistake, we take ownership and we be accountable for that. Act honorably, honestly, justly, responsibly, and legally. If we follow all of these, it should not be a problem in the legal category. But we also want to make sure that we are following compliance, governance, industry standards, regulations, laws, and all those things as we go about our work. That takes us to provide diligent and competent service to the principal. This has to do with maintaining a high level of professional competence, being good at what you do, being good at your job. Like I understand in cybersecurity, there's so much to learn and so much to do that a lot of us get into this checkbox routine where you go to work, we do what we are expected, and we go home, but that doesn't really improve our competence and our capabilities. So we want to stay current with technological development and also trends in our industry, and we want to avoid conflict of interest and deliver reliable services to our clients, our customers, our employers, our end user, and so on. What that means is that we are going to provide high quality work. We are going to serve our clients, our customer, our employers, our end user to the best of our ability, and we are going to improve that, grow our skill set according to trends, changes, updates, threats, all kind of different things. That's diligent and competent services, being good at what we do and being diligent about it. And then lastly, we have advance and protect the profession. This is about contributing to the industry, contributing to the growth and maturity of cybersecurity practice, sharing knowledge, mentoring others, and participating in professional organization. So this doesn't mean you have to post all the time in social media and write a bunch of blog posts or write a bunch of books. You can do that if you want to, and I am sure a lot of people would be grateful for that. But what's important is that you want to share knowledge that's going to make an impact and make a difference in profession. So if you feel called to do that, by all means do that. That helps advance the profession and foster community of learning and improvement, things like that. That also means that it allows everyone to grow and share their knowledge, their skills to keep up on current threats, vulnerabilities, and attacks, and also to raise information security awareness within your organization as well. Ethical conduct is very important because professional needs to take responsibility for their action and decision in the cybersecurity realm. Whatever you are doing, you need to be responsible for what you are doing, and ISC2 expect that. Obviously your employers are going to expect that, your clients and customers, they expect it as well. So adhering to the ISC2 Code of Ethics protect both the individual and the integrity of the profession at the same time. So in practice, as we use the Code of Ethics, we want to promote a culture of ethical behavior within our organization. We want to have good integrity. Again, we want to protect, act, provide, and advance. That's what we want to promote as a culture. And we want to regularly reflect on how our decision align with the Code of Ethics and how that aligns with organizational policies, industry standards, law, regulations, and so on. For the CISSP exam, you have to know the 4 canons. No question about it. You will see the question on the exam about it. So be fully ready for it. Understand the importance of integrity, accountability in ethical decision making. And that's what the canons are designed to drive. The value and that ethical decision making as a security professional. And be ready for the scenarios that require the application of the Code of Ethics in real world situations. Because that's how we will see it on the exam. I hope you learned something valuable in this video, and